It stopped raining, so I'm gonna try to go for another walk. See how far I get. At least it cooled off. Got a lot cooler outside. Man, I don't know why I keep getting disconnected. Sure is bizarre. Don't care, don't care. Hit me with whatever, don't care. Whatever is like hitting my head right now. This is unreal, man. This is disgusting. Disgusting. Our government does this to innocent civilians. Wow. Wow. What a load of shit, man. I don't know. Is it because I'm walking next to these power lines? What the fuck? Fucking goofy as shit. Don't matter. Won't shut me up. Won't shut me up, I'll tell you that. It just makes me want to talk more. So, yeah, I mean, when I was renting to that girl, that was so unreal. The behaviors, you know, she would exhibit, and obviously part of the program. Just things she did, it made no sense. And always, she would have that look, like that grin, you know, walking by me, like, you know, like there's something I don't know, right? And, you know, I had no clue in the beginning. I had no clue of what was going on at all. And I just thought she was weird, you know, weird as hell. But, yeah, as soon as I kicked her out, you know, when they were freaking zapping me from the next room, she would always go outside to smoke cigarettes. Of course she was a smoker. I didn't even think about that. Of course she was a cigarette smoker, because all of them are, right? But she would pretend, she would like bust out this like crying mode, and you know, to try to make it look like to the rest of the neighbors I'm some kind of psychopath or something. You know, even though I don't even want to be near this. I stay as far away as I can. Like, she's fucking weird. Alcoholic. 2 huge bottles of the cheapest vodka in her room. Just unreal. And this is the same time, like, whatever they were doing to the house, whatever type of military weapons they were using, the air conditioning just would not work. That air conditioning would run all day and not be able to cool that house below like 80 degrees maybe. Like, I gave up even running it because I thought it was going to break. And I know it was a brand new system, like the outside unit, and there was zero problems, you know, until this program started. There was zero problems with the AC. But see, when my grandfather got that unit, he intentionally got one that was larger than you would need for that cubic foot house, just so it would have to like not work as hard, you know, run less, last longer. Because yeah, that was the thing. That house had a brand new roof for the house and the garage. Like, you know, all I needed was just some updating on the inside. But other than that, you know, I would have been all set. I would have been all set. But no, you know, the United States military says, no way. No, you can't. You're not allowed to inherit that house. Well, you are, but we're gonna turn you into a fucking human marshmallow or whatever they were pointing in that house. Holy shit, man. And you know, everybody's laughing. Like, all the neighbors freaking knew. Like, they're all, or the ones immediately surrounding the house, you know, because I come outside sometimes, like, to look, like, where's this coming from? You know, and they'd all do the same bullshit, bizarre things. Like, you know, the blue house, they're out honking their horns and shit. And then, you know, every time I walk outside, then they're in their driveway, like acting like they're doing something in their garage or whatever. But they're the same ones who, like, get that fucking white car and honk the horn. Or every time I went inside to watch Wheel of Fortune with my grandmother, because I used to go in at 6 o'clock every night, then they would, their car would be parked in front of their house, and they'd all get in their car and then park in front of my house, in front of the picture window. And I could hear them, like, their stereo slamming doors and all that. And at the same time, I'm getting hit with these electromagnetic weapons too. And how are you supposed to figure out what's going on? Like, how are you supposed to take that when, like, I'm getting cooked alive? I go outside, all the neighbors are like side-eyeing me, fucking give me this look like, like, whoa, we know something you don't, like, and they're fucking trash. That's the thing. That's like the worst part about, the scummiest people of society. All of a sudden think that they have the right to treat you like shit and look down on you. And, that really totally throws you for a loop. And it's even more aggravating. It's even fucking more aggravating, all these little fucking tactics that just all add up to a lot of anger, a lot of fucking anger, man. Maybe I can move this farther away. I could hold it more steady, maybe. But at least the freaking temperature dropped, man. This is way better. I can wear clothes now. I can wear clothes like a normal person. I'm not fucking baking in the sun all day. So yeah, the rain obviously stopped, and I figured I just want to do something before it gets dark, and then I'll cook my favorite dinner again and again and again and again. There's those doves again. What? I wonder if these are the same fucking doves. Who cares? Who gives a shit, man? Fuck. It's windy now. Hopefully you can hear me. I don't know. Hopefully the wind doesn't sound like shit on the microphone or whatever. Damn, I gotta get out of this wind. Dip off in here, maybe. Hide in the bushes. Oh, this is better. This is way better, yes. Like I'm in the jungle. Oh boy. Yeah, I can't believe. Yeah, I seen that thing where supposedly people are taking all that medicine on TikTok now because of what Trump said. Like, oh, I'm gonna severely injure myself. That's probably, that's probably a whole fucking psychological operation too. I didn't even think about that. All these extreme, insane behaviors that you see in the news and all that, that's all just, that's all government propaganda to get the public riled up, to get the public thinking a certain way. I didn't even think about it. I was falling right for it, wasn't I? That's all because I'm saying, wow, these fucking liberals must be crazy or whatever. And I'm falling. That's exactly what they want, right? That's exactly what they want me saying and thinking. That's all propaganda to just divide the people even further. I bet you that's all scripted, how they're saying people are chugging that medicine. I bet it's all scripted. It's more government propaganda. These rocks are weird. It's like they came out of a mountain or something. I bet you some semi-truck driver took these and then didn't know what to do with them. These are really strange. Get these, like, looks like if they put them in a fish tank or something, they'd be nice. I don't know. I remember when my dad went to Colorado, he took a bunch of like granite rocks home to decorate around the house with, decorate the landscaping with. They're like really pretty rocks, from the Rocky Mountains, of course, right? It was a fun vacation. Yeah, I guess maybe this does explain why there's so many mosquitoes around here. With all these weeds and shit around me. I guess this is the most nature I'm gonna get, huh? What kind of... This dude does not know how to drive or what? Is he intoxicated? Obviously he can't afford a muffler, right? But yeah, so now that I think about it, I bet you that whole thing that they're talking about with people chugging all that medicine on TikTok, that's just all more propaganda to make the other side think each other is crazy. Just to keep everybody talking shit about divided. Back and forth. Back and forth. I feel like I'm in the prison yard or some shit. Even though I've never been to prison. I kind of feel like I'm one step. I feel like this is it, you know? This is the future prison, right? This is like virtual prison, huh? This is fucking shitty. It's gay. It sucks. I probably shouldn't say that word, huh? I don't know what can be hate speech now. Anything, right? So yeah, I don't know. No more police officers. Like the one dude was sitting on this road earlier. I don't know how long he was sitting there for, but I mean, I see him show up from time to time, but they'll never like acknowledge me. I mean, I'm never doing it. If I was doing something wrong or whatever, you know, yeah, I'm sure they would say something to me, but you know, otherwise they never acknowledge me. Even when they had that bogus roadblock when I was getting off of work, because of how I was driving on the highway, you know, 'cause I didn't know these were police informants following me, and I did a few wild things, you know, on the highway. I guess that, anyway, so as soon as I passed the cop that was sitting there doing the roadside safety check, or, you know, right next to my lane or whatever, like, he's just like fucking turns his head, you know, just like the rest of these people do, or these informants. Just like the rest of these federal informants are instructed to do when I pass by. Or, you know, they have like there's like a set number of interactions that they're allowed to do, I guess you could say. You know, they either turn their head, don't exist, or they look at you or look at me like I'm a total piece of shit. Like I don't like I'm an idiot. Like, how could you not know? How could you not know? Well, because you won't tell me, that's why. Because the police won't tell me. Unreal. They never tell anybody. Right? I don't even know why I look at the road, man. Holy fuck. I see where all the tax money's going now. Damn. Fuck it. Let's just get a good look here. I mean, how do people get to drive with all these illegal windows? Let me see. There's 1 in the white, 2 in the black car, 3 in the truck, 4 in the black car. Black semi's got illegal windows. That silver car has illegal windows. See, that's future policing right there. Just pay the community to fucking sit around, call it fucking universal basic income, right? Sit in your car and follow your neighbor around because your other neighbor reported you because he don't want you as a neighbor, right? Fuck you. Right, because my stereo is louder than yours. Somebody likes 7-Up. Who's back here drinking all this 7-Up, huh? It almost looks like they're probably mixing it with something, right? What do you drink? Seagrams? 7 and 7? Seagrams and 7-Up, maybe? God, I haven't had a drink in so long. I could almost go for one if I didn't have to fucking, I don't know, go so far to wherever. liquor store or whatever to buy something. But last time I bought like some twisted tea or something. I just thought it tasted like shit. I couldn't even drink it. I ended up pouring out like 3/4 of it. I don't know. Just don't have a taste for that shit anymore. I stopped getting drunk, I think, when I was like 35, maybe. Yeah, it's like when I was married, like we drink like maybe once or twice a month, like on the weekends, and kind of just like our own party at home, like watch a movie on the projector or whatever. It's like, I don't know, that was my goal or whatever. I have like so much cool shit at my house. I never really want to go anywhere. Like have a nice home theater, so I don't even want to go to the theater, and it was sweet. But so we just party at home, and then after we got divorced, and then I made some bad decisions, and then I got arrested, for possession. Then I had to, they forced me to like go to rehab or whatever. Like, what, do you drink or whatever? I'm like, well, I don't, maybe once a month or something. And then you go in there and they're telling you, like, well, you can never drink again. You can never smoke pot again. I'm like, are you something? Like, I'm not like this, man. Shit. Because all the people in there, they were like lifers too. People like had straight up problems. Not everybody, but that was just so hard to, I couldn't connect with that shit. Like, I don't know. I just had to like fake it to make it through that. And obviously I'm fine, right? I mean, I just smoke weed now and, haven't messed around for quite, I don't know how many years now. But yeah, I just knew. I'm like, man, I know I fucking, because they're saying like, oh my God, if you have one sip of alcohol again, you're going to, it's going to be the end of the world is how they put it pretty much. And that's the stories these people tell too. Like if you have to go to these meetings or whatever, they're like, I was totally fine. And then my friend offered me a drink, and the next day I was robbing a bank. I was robbing a bank to buy crack or whatever. And I'm like, yeah, like I don't think I would go that far. Like, but I had to play along or whatever. But like, I still wonder if that has something to do with it, or if I didn't have any arrest history. Say I had 0 arrest history for drugs, even though I just have like 2, 3 possession charges. They're total bullshit charges though. One was an empty bag. Like, that's what happens when you get busted by small towns that want to make examples. That's, like any other place would have threw this shit out. Let me go. I guarantee it. Like bigger town or bigger cities or whatever wouldn't have wasted their time. But what the fuck was I gonna say? But yeah, so like, I think if I didn't have that say on my record, when my neighbors, most likely, the ones who recommended me for this because of all the suspicious things going on there, like maybe I wouldn't have qualified them. Maybe I would have been denied for the program. I don't know, just because of what I see most people have. Or I guess not everybody now that I think about it, but it seems like a lot of people, from when I hear their testimonies, have some kind of history with drugs in a way to most likely, make their story easily discreditable. Like, oh, he's on drugs. That's what my dad was saying. Like, it's the drugs or whatever. Like, dude, that was years ago. What are you fucking talking about? Like, I've already lived with you for 2 years before this, and not been on drugs, and everything was totally fine, and I was working full time, and everything was hunky-dory. Then I moved to Joliet. Fucking hey, man. And I try telling them over and over again. I'm like, I don't know what they told the police. Like, something's going on. They did something. And like the one time, like I had like just like 4 big arguments with my dad, but he goes so crazy that it's like the end of the world when this shit happens, you know, when you argue with him. But he's like, you know what? I called the neighbor. I called whatever her name was, and you know what she said? She said she couldn't care less if you lived or died. Larry, she said they don't know what you're talking about, and she couldn't care less if you lived or died. I'm like, oh, so you called the neighbor. And she said she wasn't, oh, okay, because otherwise she'd, oh yeah, hell yeah, we've been fucking with your son for 6 months now. Like, use your fucking head. It's like me owning a bank, right? And my bank getting robbed, and then I fucking tell the police, hey, I saw this guy rob my bank, and then the police go ask him, well, he said he didn't rob the bank. You're shit out of luck. Sorry. You know, it's like, how much more of a slap in the face, man? Like, she said she couldn't care less if you lived or died. Well, that's very clear. Yeah, we know, we've established that much for sure. Damn, dude. How much more insulting. That's why, like, I can't stay here, man. There's no breaking through this dude. And I was trying like baby steps too. I wasn't even telling him like what was really going on, like in detail. I just start trying to say, like, hey, do you know there's this technology that could do this or that? Have you heard of this? Or, you know, just like testing the waters a little bit. And then, you know, like, oh man, I could have swore, like, check out this video. Does it look like this plane's following me at night, following my car, you know? Just trying to like ease him into it, you know, so just not so he wouldn't be in a state of shock, or just so he could be able to wrap his head around it a little more. But man, it's like there's no breaking through to some people. There's just no reaching some people. It's like, fine, go watch TV. Go fucking stare at the TV, man. I don't know. I just remember that line, so I'm gonna go watch TV. I'm gonna go watch it. All right, go back to your own little world. Because yeah, I kept telling him, like, think about this, does not make sense. I'm like, a free house, Dad. Why wouldn't I live there? It's a free house. You think I want to fucking live out here in the middle of nowhere? Like, I had a job I enjoy, or, you know, I used to enjoy before the fuck crazy shit started, but I'm like, let's try to, you know, put a few pieces together, puzzle pieces together before we jump to conclusions here, you know? My goodness. So that's why I know I can't live with him or be around there, because, I mean, I don't know about for me what their, you know, what their program dynamics exactly are for me, but it seems like some people, they want to get them locked up in the loony bin, and I could just see if they want to ever do that to me, that, you know, if I'm living with somebody who isn't 100% on board, and we have some kind of conflict or whatever, who knows? If the police just end up showing up for some odd reason, I just know it would somehow get me involuntarily committed, right? Because they could sign the papers. Like, if you live with your parents, they could sign shit and they'll just cart you away. There's nothing you could do. That's why I'm not living with fucking my parents. I mean, my mom's normal, but she doesn't deserve to, you know, go through this. Nobody does. So yeah, I mean, in my opinion, if you're living with somebody who, you know, has a volatile temper like that, like my father, then the police, if they want to screw you over, or the FBI, whatever, you know, they'll do things. They know what agitates each of you, or, I mean, fully monitored 24 hours a day in this program, and they want to know everything about everybody else in your life so they can, you know, build on that, build tactics and just know what directed conversation and shit like that, subliminal fucking messages, all their stupid psychological bullshit. So I could just imagine the FBI or CIA, whoever's doing this program, you know, doing certain shit to try to create fights between people you're living with, like your parents or whatever. They're trying to create drama, and that way they can step in there and fucking, your parents sign the papers, and you're involuntarily committed. And I don't know, if, like, from what I've heard, I'm guessing that if that's how it happens, then I don't know if you can get out on your own or whatever. Like, maybe your parents have to agree, or your legal guardian, whoever has legal guardianship over you or whatever, has to agree that they think you're okay to come out. I don't know. I mean, when I went, I drove myself there. I was the only person there who drove myself. I was the only person there who had a car outside and, you know, signed themselves in. I just wanted to get away from those electromagnetic weapons. And they stopped while I was in there. I mean, I felt like a little bit of something. I don't know if that was after effects, just for how fucking cooked I was. But, I mean, it was like a total vacation. Got a little bit more freedom. Like, I was honestly thinking about going back a couple times, because it was just so bad at work with the weapons coming down from the attic. Like, I was telling the owner, like, man, I don't know. And this was when that girl was living at my house. Well, that would have been a huge mistake, because I'm thinking, like, well, she can watch the house, and then I'm still earning cash, I'm still earning rent, and I'll be able to just kind of take like a mini vacation, stay at the hospital and get away from these weapons, right? But I mean, thank God I didn't go back, because I could just imagine what would have been done to my house. Something else I forgot to mention, I started noticing, because I'd always work really late at this place in Crest Hill. I'd leave when the owner would leave at night, you know, except when I was living there. But, you know, normally the owner, he'd leave like between 1 and 2 a.m., right around there. And so I'd leave too, and just Mickey lived there. But I just started noticing, like, when she was living at my house, like, all of a sudden, then the owner of the shop was staying later and later. And, you know, sometimes I'd end up being there until like 3:34, 4:30 in the morning, which was not normal. Like, basically, I just got the feeling, because everything else that was so bizarre going on, and I start to second guess everybody, you know, everybody's intentions just because of their behaviors, right? And I was just I'm thinking, I'm like, I wonder if they're trying to keep me here. Like, what's going on in my house right now? Like, I just started getting that feeling. And she was trashing my house. She'd have the fucking cats, like, shit all over the floor, not clean it up, pissing all over the floor. Like, the carpet was just done after that. That house smelled perfectly fine, you know, before she moved there, and just destroyed it, man. And I thought it was weird, too, like, because she didn't have a license, so I picked her up. I found her on, I think, roommates.com. I just put like room for rent. I had a room available for rent. And she was one of the people that contacted me. And what the fuck was I gonna say? Fuck. So yeah, I felt like they were trying to keep me there. Oh yeah. So when I picked her up, because she didn't have a license, she's like, I just bought this litter box. Or she's like, oh yeah, I just got this litter box, because she had her 2 cats in it to bring to my house. And I'm thinking, like, if she lived alone and you have 2 cats, where's your fucking litter box? Why don't you have a fucking litter box? But I'm the nice guy. I'm not gonna say anything, right? Because you wouldn't be like pretending to be completely insane to fuck with my head, right? Because you're working for a federal program, right? So yeah, that's how it was. And it just, man, shit, the bizarre ass shit. Now that I think back too, you know, I think it was the second conversation I had with her, because we talked like I think 2 or 3 times on the phone, and then she came and looked at the room, you know, before she started renting it. And I was at work all these times talking to her, and like we were talking for like 1 or 2 hours, and things started getting weird. Like somebody was there, and I swear it sounded like they were like starting to like have sex on the phone or something. And I didn't say anything, and I'm just like, you know, trying to be nice or whatever. And like, now that I look back, though, I mean that was probably part of the act too. And you know, I thought I was trying to be the nice guy too, because there was I wasn't gonna rent to a guy, no fucking way. But you know, there was like a lot of different people that contacted me, you know, a lot of different people, and I tried to make a mature decision and a fair decision. Let's just put it that way. I could have made a very chauvinistic decision. You know, there's like all different people, and you know, that's what happens. You try to be nice, you know, because yeah, she took fucking full advantage, like just trying to destroy my house and shit. I mean, if I would have rented to like a young pretty girl, she probably would have been throwing parties there or some shit. You know, maybe this girl was too. The way that fucking how she destroyed that carpeting and got her room was like wouldn't like I had to go in there and vacuum, and then she'd leave her door open. Like when she'd go to work at like 6, 7 o'clock at night, and sometimes I'd come home on break from my work, because I only live 3 minutes away or 0.3 miles away. So sometimes I'd come home to grab something, and you know, she had this, what was like a 70 something inch TV in her room, and she'd just leave it on like that Amazon or the Fire Stick screen or whatever. But it's like summertime and those TVs get hot, and I'm trying to air condition the house, which, you know, the military is already doing something weird with my air conditioning where it barely works now. And I'm just like, why does she keep leaving the fucking TV on? This is like, what's wrong with this girl? Oh my God. It was all a setup. It was all a setup in the end. But yeah, finally, man, I'm like, this girl is gonna destroy my house. All her food was going moldy in the refrigerator. I'm like, hey, before you go to work, could you throw out your food in the refrigerator maybe? Like your moldy food that's bad, please? Oh yeah, sure, no problem. And she threw out like fucking like 1 tomato or something. I'm like, what the fuck? I think I went in there and just like threw everything out. So I'm like, well, if I have to do it, I don't know what you want to keep or not. So I'll just throw everything out. I don't give a shit. But yeah, intentionally fucking, you know, making moldy food in the refrigerator. It was just like one thing after another, and I had no clue. I was like a deer in fucking headlights. Like, what is going on with my life? Like, everything, every aspect of my life is just being fucked with. I'm like, and who has the capabilities to do this? Who has the resources, the money? I'm like, I'm telling my mom, you know, the whole time, you know, like what's going on throughout like each day or whatever. And she's like, maybe it's the cartel. And that's what I started thinking too. I'm like, because first I thought it was a Hispanic gang. But then everything, like with the weapons they're using on me, I'm like, well, maybe I live close to a stash house, right? And I pissed them off, and now the cartel's after me. That's what I was thinking. And that's what the government will make you think too. That's what the military will make you think. Whatever you think it is, they'll just build on that and to fucking make you brainwash yourself, pretty much. Make you gaslight yourself into further not knowing what's going on. Hopefully you can hear me over the wind. Oh man. Oh shit, man. This beat's sweating my ass off anyway. This is definitely nicer. Looks like my buddy's back. There's a dove. Where's the other doves? Where's your buddies? This is gorgeous. I wish I could afford to stay at like a fucking campground or something. There's campgrounds around here, but I mean, I don't want to pay all that money to fucking stay in a tent or whatever. Because I think they're expensive anyway, for what I've heard. I don't know. I didn't look into it that far. But I mean, I know that even if I go, it's still not going to be perfect, right? There's still going to be bullshit going on, morons doing dumbass shit to get fucking easy money. They're lazy, greedy pieces of shit. But hey, you know, that's the society we live in nowadays, unfortunately. That's how easily people are brainwashed. That's how easily people are able to be brainwashed. Hopefully it's coming to an end. Hopefully people are about to wise up. I don't know. I don't see how people couldn't see the light at this point. Like, how more obvious could it get? That shit is messed up. Other countries, what they're saying about it, like, the U.S. is out of their minds. And I agree. I mean, that video I just posted, that dude, he's a Chinese professor, but he's saying that, you know, actually China right now is more free than us because actually they're aware of their government's corruption, and we're just being flat out lied to, and people don't get it. You know, we're under more of a spell than these people. Basically, is what he's saying. And I believe it. Like, we are living in the ultimate state of authoritarianism. People just don't realize it yet. But it's coming quick. Like, once whatever they're building, doing, gets put into place with this golden dome, what's the other, Elon's internet, fuck, I keep on wanting to call it Skynet. But once all that's in place, that's gonna be, you know, once that's in place, that's to keep us in place. Because what do they keep saying too? Like, oh, the prisons are overcrowded. They don't have the budgets for the police. And so on and so forth, right? So this is the future policing, future prison system, future crime program. And it's going to be like a wireless prison, and they can geo-fence you wherever you want, and wherever they want to keep you, right? Like, if the government decides they want to keep you in a 4 square foot area in front of McDonald's, they can, because they'll just electrocute the shit out of your head when you move out. And once you feel it, once you experience this, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. They'll be able to fully control society this way. That's why they want all this technology, all this merging with technology, and all this biometric surveillance. That's what it's all about. You know, and plus with this full biometric surveillance, they're able to monitor the moods of the population to, you know, gauge how well their propaganda is working, how docile the population is. You know, they probably got like a percentage meter of, like, you know, what's the risk of an uprising. Just like that end of the world fucking meter or whatever. I forget. There used to be a website you could go to. I can't remember. I don't remember. I'll shut up. But I'm sure the government, like, why else? They want full control. They want full control and full surveillance. And this is how they do it. This is how they get it. You know, I'm the guinea pig. Everybody else in this program, and even the people doing it, that's a whole nother social experiment too, for control, and you know, seeing just how far you can push people. How far are people willing to set their morals aside for what amount of money? You know, what will people do for money? What will one human being do to another human being for money. And then like how stupid is one human being willing to act for money? You know, how foolish are you willing to behave? How desperate, you know, how financially desperate do we have to make you to do our little dance, right? So I'm sure that's part of the social experiment. Do you hear this? Do you fucking, what's going on right now? What's going on around me, man? Wow. There must be some kind of a big emergency, I'm sure. I'm sure there's a big emergency with all those sirens, right? So yeah, this is the ultimate social fucking experiment, but this is how it's gonna be. Everybody who's in this program knows it. And I just think the people working for this program, like on the lower levels, are so brainwashed that they just want to keep believing that this is all gonna last forever, and you know, this kind of easy money is gonna last forever. Not having to work like this is gonna last forever. But I don't think so. I don't think so. Because I mean, once this whole new system rolls out, they're not going to really need so many people. I just guarantee this program's going to thin out quite a bit. I don't want to get too much into it. It's my vape. It feels like it's warming back up now. That was strange, man. Like right in the beginning of this live stream, something was agitating my head. Just like the good old days. Just like the good old days. Or last year. Just like last year. I don't know. One thing I do know is when my freaking stomach was vibrating like crazy, my body was vibrating from whatever they were pointing at me, and I used to go to McDonald's every day for lunch at work, and man, that fucking, you know, they would be right behind me in the drive-thru every time. They'd follow me to McDonald's, these cars, these informants' cars, follow me to McDonald's. They'd be all along my route on the way, you know, parked in the parking lots, and be right behind me in the drive-thru. And I'd, you know, be getting hit with the same weapon, you know. At first, it was just at my house, and then it was at work, and then it was everywhere. Like, then it was in the car too. But the last time I ate McDonald's, like the look that dude working the drive-thru gave me, like you know the look, right? Like you're fucked or something like that. And I ate that burger. I started noticing too, like after I ate these burgers, and I could feel like, you know, my stomach vibrating worse. And once I quit eating there, that diminished quite a bit. So I could only imagine, you know, they're pouring some kind of metal particulate onto those burgers. So, you know, once that gets hit with microwaves, and you know, it agitates it, makes it vibrate around. And it was the same thing. You know, when I had like my first crazy experience on the highway, and I didn't know what was going on, because I drove all the way up to Addison, and I was gonna try to get my job back. Like the first time, I was gonna go there and talk to them, but all these, you know, informant's cars followed me up there on the highway, and I thought it was so bizarre that I didn't go anywhere. And I just went to a grocery store in Addison and was like looking under my car for a tracking device. Like, what the hell is going on? And so on my way back, like the same cars following me, you know, like mobbing me on the highway, and I'm like, oh my God, this is so bizarre. This is so insane. What's going on? And I go to the gas station because I'm like, I'm like, okay, this is so coordinated. This has got to be like the freaking FBI or something, and they're going to arrest me. Like, why else would this be happening? So I went to the gas station and bought a pack of cigarettes because I'm like, well, I'm going to, you know, before I go to prison or for God knows what, I'm going to have a pack of cigarettes. I'm going to smoke. And like, dude, one of the dudes followed me on the highway, you know, parks next to me at the gas station, gets out with me, and then fucking beats me the door and opens the gas station door for me. And I'm just like, what is going on, you know? And that same day, there was another gas station I went to in Addison, and it was the same thing. They followed me, you know, mobbed me into the gas station, and I just went in there to use the bathroom. And then the dude's standing like right outside the door of the bathroom. I hear him say like, I'm seeing if he's getting rid of evidence or whatever. And I'm like, what is going on? Like, oh my God. So I bought that pack of cigarettes, all right? All that bizarre shit happened. And so I'm like, all right, something really bad is gonna happen, right? Because all these people are after me. Like, this is like, you know, steadily escalating to complete insanity now. So I'm like, I'm gonna go get like a greasy meal at Wendy's too, because I used to love Wendy's. And so I went in there. I'm still getting like cooked when I go into businesses, and I'm thinking like, oh my God, are these people like, are they literally like climbing up on the roof at every fucking place I go? And man, the looks I got, it was the same looks from the cashier at Wendy's too, like looking at me like, you know, like, you are fucked. That's like this, you know, look like this grin, but like, I don't know how to explain it, man, but I'm just like, you have got to be kidding me. Like, what is happening? I parked by the mall, and there was all this like row of all these blacked out cars, and they were all like Mercedes and really nice cars. And I'm calling Mom, like, Mom, I don't know what is going on. Like, I think I'm gonna get arrested. I don't know for what, but this is insane. I'm like, all these cars, I'm like, they're all lined up at the mall where I'm sitting now. I don't know what to do. And I'm like, from what just happened on the highway, because before we were thinking, you know, this has to be like a cartel following me. But I'm like, there's no way, this can't be a cartel. Like, this is too coordinated. Like, this has to be like the FBI or something. Or like, I think they're gonna arrest me. I'm sorry. Like, I don't know what's going on. And, you know, I went to the police station too and went to talk to them. You know, after I ate and everything and had a few cigarettes, I'm like, man, like, what am I gonna do? I'm like, well, I'm just gonna go to the fucking police station, and like, what else, you know? And I go talk to them, and you know, it was so strange too. Like, one of the cars that was following me around, all right, she follows me to the police station, or shows up like as I'm getting out of my car, I'm pretty sure, and she has this huge pink stuffed animal, like big, like this big, gigantic, and she takes it out of her car, and there's a police officer like sitting in his car, in a squad car, and gives it to the police officer. And I'm like, and I knew this was one of the cars. I was being followed by all Hispanic people. And I was never racist or anything before, but this program tries to drive you to that. But I'm just like, boy, that's bizarre too, because I'm like, you know, there's another just blacked out car. I'm like, I knew that she was with the program, right? But I'm like, what is she like? His or is that his girlfriend? Or I'm thinking maybe, I thought, well, maybe that police like did something for them and she was trying to thank him. I'm like, well, that must be maybe, but like, why is this happening now? I'm just trying to rationalize what's going on, you know. But of course it was like a brightly, you know, colored stuffed animal. But you know, back then I didn't know anything about like color harassment or like synchronization or nothing. And I don't even remember. I don't remember any instances where I thought it was odd the colored cars I was seeing, you know, just until like I was aware like the police were doing it and everything. And then I started noticing like the red, white, and blue patterns on a lot of like the red, white, and blue cars, or the American flags everywhere, like, you know, like this country's out to get you. This country doesn't want you here. Unreal, man. Unfucking believable. Like, but at the end of the day, bottom line, I think they just fucking think that they could get away. They thought they could get away with it with me. They thought something would have happened by now. I'd be the perfect fucking town mark or whatever. I don't know. I know those same vehicles that I've been seeing at my neighbor's house for the past 10 years, 10 years, right? Those same vehicles. After I moved to Joliet, then all those same blacked out vehicles start following me around everywhere. That's all I know. I mean, so that's my fucking math. That's my logic right there. From the source of this madness, in my opinion. You think all the streetlights would be on by now. Not that I'm complaining. I should probably stay away from the highway. No more motorcycles in the wintertime, huh? I gotta figure out what I'm doing. I can't stay here for winter, man. I'm gonna freeze to death in my car. It's funny too. When you go into when I go into my storage unit, the cell phone stops working. I mean, I can't even fit in my storage unit at the cheapest one possible, because I know how they'll raise the rates on you and shit. So I got the absolute bottom dollar, smallest unit I could get. But they got it set up in there. They got a jammer, so there's no cell phone signal in the whole building. Just in the bathroom, by the office. Other than that, no, because they think people be living in there, But yeah, my cell phone does not work at all, man. It's pretty clever. Oh, and another fucking strange thing too, I always forgot to mention. See, I had a big storage unit in Joliet. It was 25 or 30 foot. And when I sold my house in Shanahan, or really it was my dad's house, I was supposed to buy it. It was like a rent to own thing, but I was so depressed after my divorce. I didn't want to live there anymore. But now I'm kicking myself. That house, the money that house would have been worth, man, at least probably $500,000. It just sold for over $300,000. I was gonna buy it. I was getting a deal on it for $150,000, and I'm not gonna say the exact price, but quite a bit over $300,000 just a few years ago. So I can only imagine now. But so I had all my shit stored, or whatever I'd managed to save from that house, stored at this storage unit in Joliet, and it was a indoor climate controlled unit. And I didn't go in that unit for almost a year when I was living up in Addison. I just paid the bill, but there's so much valuable things in there. I didn't want to, part with any of it. And so when I started living at my grandmother's house again, I was right by the storage unit. So sometimes I'd be there. It was 24 hours there. So sometimes I'd be there, until like 3 a.m. or whatever. But I started noticing I could hear somebody in the unit, like all at the end. I'm like, what the, is somebody living in there? That's weird. That's strange. I mean, I didn't care, and I didn't say anything to anybody. But now that I think about it, that was, I'm 100% sure I was under, the covert surveillance part of this program, right? So I'm sure they had somebody in one of those units just to keep an eye on me or whatever. But as to why they would have them intentionally make noise like this, so I would know somebody's in there, is bizarre. It's almost like just maybe that was part of creating this whole are starting to create this whole bizarre atmosphere. Because I even told my mom, like, yeah, I think there's somebody living at the fucking storage unit I'm renting in Joliet there. I mean, it's so strange, so freaking. It's every time I go there too, I would hear somebody in this unit, which it really ain't a bad idea if you could get away with it and get cell phone service. I mean, in these times now, that's probably what they're trying to really push everyone to. Like when you see those hotels in Japan, I forget what they're called. They use like ladders to get in their rooms. They're like little fucking cubicles. And some of them, the smallest of the small. But, that's eventually what the U.S. is trying to push us into with smart cities and tiny homes and all that. And we don't... there's a reason they're making houses unaffordable. That's all by design. Because BlackRock and all of them are purposely buying up the houses. They've... what is it? What's the word? Just made residential housing into like another part of the stock market or whatever, but they're purposely making houses unaffordable, and then they're tearing down all these neighborhoods across America to build all these warehouses and data centers, right? And it's the death of the middle class. They're eliminating the middle class. They're eliminating middle class houses. All the houses I see getting destroyed are beautiful. Like 3,000 to 2,500 square foot, 3,000 square foot, 3-car garage house is gorgeous, and they're knocking down entire neighborhoods to build these data centers now. It's what they're going to want to keep. There's going to be like an energy crisis with our carbon footprint, right? We're all going to be probably allotted a certain carbon footprint. And then we'll be allowed to, you could travel across the country, that distance one time a year, or you could use your carbon footprint to travel, closer, make a lot of short vacations, right? You get what I'm saying? You'll be given so many credits probably to be able to travel only so much, because they'll make some kind of energy crisis. Or like a fossil fuel crisis. I don't understand why they spray so much shit up, and they're making all these clouds, and then all these people got these solar setups. They're fucking blocking out the sun. I mean, God, if I spent 10, 20 grand on some big, nice solar setup, and I found out that, they're literally making clouds up in the sky every day, like just spraying nonstop in certain areas and creating all this cloud cover, I'd be pretty aggravated, because clouds will definitely affect your solar quite a bit, like cut it in half, or more, or the wattage you're getting from the panels, from the solar panels. Oh boy, man. Unreal, these fucking idiots on the highway. There's one semi-truck driver down there with a neon green shirt on, of course, man. The brightest neon green shirt. Sorry if my nose is running. Forgot to bring tissue. Man, it really cooled off though. Wow. I hope it doesn't start storming now. I want to cook dinner. This sucks. I can't help but be a jerk around these people, and I feel guilty about it. I don't know why I even feel bad. Why I even feel guilty for being a jerk to these people when they intentionally try to screw me over and intentionally try to delete me, like trying to fucking knock my head off of that bedpost. And then they'll talk to you like nothing happened, you know, like you're still buddy. Boy, you know, if I was on a motorcycle right now, I'd be getting my ass home with these kind of clouds. I don't know. I wouldn't even be on a motorcycle. It's freaking, what, Tuesday night? It sounds like there's literally like packs. I mean, from what I remember, I used to just hear that on the weekends. Back when I used to go out and back when I had a motorcycle, I don't remember all these packs of motorcycles out on weekdays. You know, just on Saturdays and Sundays, really, or Friday nights. Or maybe like we used to, you know, yeah, well, we used to have like cruise nights and stuff too, but not on a night like this. Like, people aren't gonna bring their nice cars out when the weather looks like this, you know. I didn't even have windshield wipers on my car. I was that crazy about weight. I took out the air conditioning, I took out the airbags, the seat belts, or the rear seat belts, the power steering pump, the AC pump, everything to save weight. Man, I wish I kept that car. Oh well. Even that car would be worth so much money now. Oh well. That's crazy. Like, I had all this nice stuff, and then I'd never want to use it to keep it nice, and then I never really got to fully enjoy anything. Oh, what the fuck was that? Well, let me see here. I've been going for an hour. Well, I'm gonna call it quits, and then I'll come back and cook dinner later. We'll have a dinner party. All right, thanks for watching. See you guys later. Bye.